Hello YouTube, ZiggyNo back with Sports Cards Daily. Today is March 1st, and I don't have any special facts for you today, but I have a lot to cover and a lot to get into. It's been a while, so let's get started. First of all, let's take a look at the release calendar. So March is going to be a pretty exciting month because, well, for me, it's Prism, right? Right down here, you'll see on the 31st, where is that? Panini Prism Hobby Basketball. I mean, I've been chasing Prism for years since I got back in the hobby, and this might be the year that I just can't play. I don't know. We'll see. But it is going to be interesting because retail's out there. It's going to be exciting. A lot coming on. Let's just look at some other releases coming out. So in baseball, again, baseball's taking off, which is exciting. Again, I pretty much like to focus on the flagship, and I do the Chrome products. But again, the Bowman products. But again, you got Bowman baseball coming out in May. I know that. I mean, I'm not May, in April. So that's around the corner. And just excited to see baseball back because I think that'll be exciting to get the hobby back, seeing baseball. I think you see a lot of excitement, a lot of movement. I always think about, remember, when you talk to somebody, you often talk about baseball cards first. Even if you collect basketball, you go, hey, you collect baseball cards? More people relate to baseball cards first than basketball and all the other sports, even though I know, others are building momentum and so forth. Basketball, again, this week on Wednesday, Donruss basketball. Again, going to be interested to watch this. I'm not a big fan of it. It doesn't grade well. I'm not going to invest my money into it. I'm not a fan really of Revolution or Absolute either. I might play around a little bit in some breaks, but again, not something I'm going to chase. I'm really going to save my money and be focused this year with my boys on Prism and some of the other choice products. But it will be interesting if you got some fast break and choice. They'll probably make some new products. It'll be interesting to see how many different Prism products are coming out this year. I will be doing more in Prism as we go forward here. Football. What's interesting here is you have a lot of great football products coming out, and the season's over. And football is not a strong product. Now, again, this is a new world, 2021, more hype, but I will be interested to see how these products do. For example, National Treasures to me is the bomb, right? Even Contenders Optic Football is a pretty solid product, but that's not coming out, till what, middle of next month. So it'll be interesting to see how these come. And they're going to have new products of the draft coming out too. So that's going to be exciting, right? That's going to run right into the new season. So keep an eye on that. Hockey, again, I'm just getting into hockey. I'm going to be watching more than doing anything else. But again, a lot coming in the release calendar, and I want a lot to catch up on. Excuse me. Let's first of all take a second and talk about something I'm hearing a lot about, right? NBA Top Shot. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I've had some friends that I even in my own personal life have asked me about this. Personally, I'm going to tell you this. It's not of interest to me. And I don't know much about it. I know what I've learned from like Vegas Finds and some other channels, and I'll show you an article and stuff. But I'll put it this way. Money's limited, right? There's only so many funds out there, and I'm just not going to spend my funds on this. I could go ahead and give you a lot of reasons why I'm not and be poking holes at it, but I could be completely wrong. And this could be the next hottest things in sliced bread. Like, I could be missing out, and this could be the next Bitcoin for all I know. I just don't find it interesting to me. I will share with you a pretty interesting article, and I'll put this link below for you too. This is USA Today. Just a few days ago, really great write-up on it. I'll recommend you reading the whole thing when you get a chance. Talks about what it is, talks about the guys behind it, the company behind it. Even mentions, I think like last week they did, I think it was $37 million in one day in sales or something like that. They've had some incredible growth. I don't, where's the, I want to find that number for you, but I'm not going to find it. Anyway, at the bottom, and you guys can read this article, what I did find interesting, right, is this a real market? Dapper, he's already done this before. I found this interesting. 2017, he had CryptoKitties. CryptoKitties sold for $170,000. Then essentially evaporated 18 months later. Now, I know CryptoKitties and the NBA are two totally different things, right? If this guy did Pokemon, would Pokemon still be around? Maybe it would, right? I mean, sports cards in the NBA have a lot of momentum. But when I read that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and watch. It's just not for me. And another thing I'll say too, I just don't understand it. I guess I need to read more, but I just don't. Like, what stops me from making a video and saying, hey, this is my Top Shot? Do you have some cryptographic system that you can determine? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Let me show you another quick thing I thought I'd share with you. So it's been about, last 2 months have just been very busy for me, and haven't been as focused on the hobby, as you guys probably know if you're a long-time subscriber. If you're new, hey, thanks for being here, and please subscribe. I haven't asked you to do that already. But I thought it'd be cool to kind of take a look at what's been going on in the last 60 days. Look at just some of these moves, man. Some of these players, I don't even know who this is. Who is this guy? I'm not even kidding. Someone's going to laugh at me, right? Jameis Winston, look at that. I mean, it just blows me away. It's like the hobby is such a thing, man. If you take a week off, it doesn't stop. It just continues to go. Muhammad Ali, that's got to be what the Tops is doing. Look at Randall cards, man. Drexler, Moses Malone. There is still a big push in vintage, which I'll be honest, interesting, but just not kind of my cup of tea. I'm still a big fan of modern. I'm still focused on basketball. I think mainly because it's my sons and I collect, and my sons just aren't interested in collecting a Moses Malone card. I mean, he's a great guy and all, but they're just not interested in him. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on from some of the vendors. First of all, as you know, Topps is doing the Project 70. Again, I'll just say for the last few months, I've been kind of keeping an eye on this, but it hasn't really caught my interest. In fact, I was going to buy some, then I was like, why am I buying these? And I'll be honest, this is a cool looking card. And some of these artist cards are cool, but I don't know. I was a big fan of Project 2020 last year. And I thought that was special. And I liked the 20 and I liked the artist, and it gave me something to collect. This to me, I feel like I'm spectating. And maybe I've missed the ship again. Is this blowing up? Are people making thousands of this again? I guess for me in 2021, I'm a little more focused on the collector side than I am on the investor side, if that makes sense. I don't know. Things in my life might have changed, a little perspective or something. And I also feel like we all kind of battle with that collector versus investorness, right? Kind of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Dr. Collector, Mr. Investor, whatever. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Project 70. I'd love to get your thoughts. Am I missing out? What do you think? And again, I am watching it. Don't get me wrong. And I'll also say this, and I'll do another video later on. Big fan of Topps. Really love what Topps has been doing in general. And I'll talk more about that later on. So let me go ahead and showed you Topps. Let's go over to Panini. So tomorrow, that's right, by the time you see this, or later today, depending on when this comes out, Panini will have the Optic White Sparkle football cards available for 2,500 points. Now, I could sit here and complain and bitch and tell you all the terrible things about this. Like, I remember when these, were 500 points, maybe 1,000 points. But now they want 2,500 points for one pack that's 3 cards that are not numbered. Oh my goodness. Also, this is a football product of Optic. Now, it's not Prism, and it's also not Prism Basketball, which used to be, I think, the original Sparkle. That's a great question. Does anybody know that? Like, when did they start doing white sparkles? What is the first white sparkle card? Is it a Prism? It has to be Prism, because Optic came later on. But when did they drop them in? Anyway, just think about that. So, check it out. The one point I want to make real quickly, points. Points used to be bought and sold. Blowout, Fantastic Store would buy them for 3 cents a point. Today, I've been seeing cards go for 10 cents a point. That's a 3x just in the value of point cards, which I also think is interesting because as a collector, I used to complain about getting a points card. Now as an investor, I'm like, cha-ching, cha-ching, I'll take all the points cards you want. So just another observation I thought I'd share with you. Let's go ahead real quickly and just stop in on Star Stock. Yes. I've still been using Star Stock, and I have a new video coming out on Star Stock and my activity. But let me just say, this challenge has been bewildering. I mean, sadly, man, look at me. I'm down here. I'm on my 7th, but I'll be honest, guys. I'm at under 300. I'm under 400 right now. I think I'm around 3 something. I just got crushed. I invested a lot in one player. I'll share later on about that. That one player has done poop, and not only has that one player done poop, but I think I bought that player's card around $30, and I think right now they're trading for around $5 or $6. So that has killed my portfolio, and it just, I mean, look, I have to say, Keenan, dude. We are not worthy. We are not worthy. I'm never going to question you again, man. I'm just teasing. I've never questioned the past. I love the fact you're doing well. I do follow your channel and I follow your subscriptions and stuff. And hey, man, keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. I'm shocked. I mean, even DJ Ski's down at $4.92. The world is just weird. Hey, congrats to over here to Gavin too, man. He's another one of the wild cards. Anyway, just really love what's going on. Really appreciate this. Big fan of what's going on, guys. 2 more weeks. I can still push this. We can still change things. And I'll talk more about that in an upcoming report. Okay, next one I want to talk about real quickly to bring you up to speed. CMOC. I think I mentioned this to you guys. I applied for a job with CMOC. See, they're hiring. And hey, trading cards are your passion. Come on. Is anybody as passionate as me? I know who is, right? Basketball Cards 90. He's the most passionate guy on the internet. Anyway, real quickly. Applied. Got the email that I did not make the next cut of interviews. Kind of disappointed. I think this would have been awesome. In fact, I was going to send them back an email and say, hey, look, I'll do the job for free. I just would like to work at the CMOC because they didn't even gotten a salary. But I'm thinking, I just would be fun to do that. I like sports cards and it'd be fun to contribute and stuff. Anyway, what was interesting to me, the question they asked me in the interview was, what was the first Mosaic card? And that's kind of why I did the Mosaic video back a few weeks ago on Mosaic. And the first Mosaic card, unless I'm mistaken, and I never heard back from CMOC, was in the second year, 2013 Prism. Probably the most famous mosaic would be the Giannis 1 of 1, because mosaics in the 2013 season Prism were all 1 of 1s. Then later on, they introduced some other Prism refractors in the next few years, and then they came out with a complete Prism mosaic product. And I believe it was 2016, the Ben Simmons year, which I'll talk about Ben Simmons later on. I've mentioned him in the past, but he's been he had a huge impact on sports cards. Not as much on the court. He's had a bigger impact on the card market than he has the court, in my opinion. But that year was the first year they did a complete separate release as a I'm sorry, because Panini actually used to care about customers back then, and they screwed something up the prior year, so they did something nice and they released Prism Mosaic. Anyway, I'm just going on too long, and that's all more good stuff I'll share with you guys later on. So let me see. Anything else I want to hit on real quickly? I think that was the highlights. I will mention I did see that CSG, are one of my favorites, Sports Cards Daily. Great content. I have been keeping up with them. I hope you guys have too. But since I've been gone, spend some time there. They showed their first graded refractor, the LeBron James, which I thought was very cool. And again, I'll just mention this. I did the video on the HGA or whatever, the homemade grading company. And I shouldn't say homemade. I forget what it's called, hybrid. And it just makes me think, you know what I realized? Anybody can grade. I mean, really, guys. Anybody can break. Anybody can grade. I mean, and that's not a bad thing. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we have more and more choices, right? And maybe that will erode the value and the cost of the other guys. I think it might actually increase the value in companies like PSA, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I will tell you, I'm still with PSA. I have no interest in HGA or whatever, or CSG. I'm kind of curious more about them. I haven't bought any of their slabs. I have no interest in buying their slabs. But I'll keep an eye on what's going on. I'm curious to see what you guys think. And I'll also be curious to start tracking them on some of the tools like Market Movers and I don't know if there's anything else out there that does it, but I like to see how their value is doing versus other graded solutions. So I believe that's it. Hit on the releases. We discussed the article. We talked about Top Shot. I discussed the CSG tops. Gave you a look at the market in the last 60 days. Prism Sparkle Packs. We talked about the update there, and we discussed the interview. Well, guys, that's it. And again, thank you very much. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Welcome back to Sports Cards Daily. I do plan to get this show going again in March. A lot of positive momentum, feeling the energy, feeling the vibe. Went through some personal things in my life, and it's time to move forward. Thank you all for being here. Thumbs up, and look forward to your comments, positive, negative, whatever it is, man. Just really appreciate your time. Bye-bye.